Hi, my name is Samantha Howard and I'm here at Kennebec Valley Community College in the Culinary Arts program. Today I will be making Hawaiian meatballs. Okay, so we will begin by taking the ground beef. I have 1 pound of 80/20 ground beef. And the next thing I like to do is add my Italian breadcrumbs right to the ground beef. I have about 2/3 cup of Italian breadcrumbs. And then I'll add the salt, which is about 1.5 teaspoons. And the ground ginger, which is 1/4 teaspoon. Next, I'm going to take my 1 egg and I'm going to beat it. Okay. And I'll add that to the mixture, along with 1/4 cup of milk. Whole milk works best, or 2%. I just think more fat added helps the meatballs be more flavorful. And then I have about 1/2 cup of a minced onion. Preferably a yellow onion works best for flavor. And now I'm just going to mix it together by hand with my gloved hands. I think it helps incorporate all the flavors best with hands-on mixing. It's important that we wear gloves when doing this because our hands are going to get contaminated and it'll just be easier to wash our hands afterwards without ground beef under your fingernails and all that. Okay. This looks pretty well together. I'm going to take my gloves off and quickly wash my hands. We want to wash our hands throughout this process because we don't want to cross-contaminate our work area. And I'm going to reapply gloves so that I can portion the meatballs onto the sheet tray. And I have a portion scoop here. It's about a size small. Also can be used for cookies. And I just add the meatball mixture into the portion scoop. You really want to fill the portion scoop by pushing the meat in. And that way each meatball is just about the same size. They're looking great so far. Hawaiian meatballs is something that I grew up with. My family always had either Hawaiian meatballs or barbecue meatballs at our family celebrations. And so it's really something that I enjoy and like to make. So just continue to portion the meatballs. So now I have a sheet pan lined with parchment paper. The parchment paper helps with the mess at the end. You can just pick up the parchment paper and throw it away and you won't have to scrub the pan as much. But if you don't want to use parchment paper, you can just spray the pan real well with a pan spray. However, there still might be some scrubbing needed at the end. But it's whatever you prefer. So I almost got all my meatballs portioned out here. And we will put them in the oven that has been preheated at 350 degrees. And we want to cook these meatballs for about 20 to 25 minutes to make sure that they're done. These are looking good. You can see how this portion scoop makes it easy to just push the meat right out of the scoop without having to roll each one by hand. Okay, just a few more left. And we will add these to the oven. Gloves and wash my hands. All right, I'm going to put these into the oven at 350 degrees for 25 minutes. I'm going to do a quick cleanup of my workspace so I don't cross-contaminate. Now it's time to make the Hawaiian sauce. So I have my mise en place here for my sauce, and I'm going to turn on the stove top. I want about a medium-high heat to get this sauce boiling as quickly as we can to make sure that we can reduce it. So I'm going to take my reserved pineapple juice and pour it into this bowl. And I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. What the cornstarch does is it's a thickener. So it's going to help us thicken our sauce. You just want to whisk it together with the pineapple juice. Now we can add our soy sauce and our vinegar. So as you can see, we have a sweet ingredient being the pineapple, and then we have sour too, being the vinegar and soy sauce. Okay. I'm going to pour this into the pan. I'm going to bring that to a boil. I can also add my brown sugar, which is a sweet ingredient. And just kind of stir it together. Looks good. So I turn it up a little bit. And here I have my blanched julienne carrots. I blanch those because it makes them not as tough at the end, because sometimes carrots take a little bit longer to cook, and so blanching them helps to soften them up and reduce the cooking time. And then I have my julienne green pepper, which I did not blanch because that does not take as long to soften up. So my sauce is coming to a boil. I'll just give it a stir. It looks good, it smells good too. Okay, it's boiling. I'm gonna add my carrots and my green pepper. I have about 1/3 cup of the green pepper and carrots. And then I'm gonna add my pineapple, and this pineapple is crushed. It just makes it easier to eat, to not have big chunks of pineapple. And I'm gonna turn this down to a simmer and let that continue to cook. It smells really good. Now the sauce is already thickened up, which is good. So we're just gonna continue to cook it to warm everything. And I'll clean up my area. Some people put cherries in this sauce. I don't. I think that the sauce is sweet enough, so I just add a little bit of vegetables. I'm going to put gloves on because I'm getting ready to plate my dish. And I want my hands to be nice and clean. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. And grab my plate. So here we have the meatballs that are done, and I'm going to scoop a few of them into my plate. This dish is mostly an appetizer, is what I grew up with it being, but you can make it an entree very easily by just adding some rice to the meatballs. So a layer of rice and then meatballs and then the sauce will make it a very full and complete dish. Okay. So now I'm going to get my garnish, which is just a little bit of parsley. And there you have it, Hawaiian meatballs.